Oh,
Ooh.
happy Friday. So good to see you, Christy and Alonzo, with a
Hey, hey.
quick little live stream for you. We will be with you in a second. Takes a little second here to catch up in between Riverside and YouTube. I think I see us now. See, Andrea's here and Bascott and Victor. We have folks here. Hi. How do we look? How do we sound? Our levels are sometimes different, and we don't mean for them to be, but we're happy to see
We're
you.
giving it our best shot.
Yes. Hello. Marty's here from Ontario. Yes.
Hello.
Andrea's talking about how Gladiator II and Wicked are being called Glicked, kind
Yes.
of like Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it has quite the same ring.
Yeah, Glicked doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but I'm sure we're working on it. It's better
Good.
than Wadiator, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like that one. That's not good either.
No.
Yes. Hello, Jonathan, Jordan, and Angel, our friend Angel in Spain.
Hola.
Good to see you all. Yes. Hello from Atlanta to you, Urban Squirrel. Hello to Christine in Canada. So there's not really a whole lot of news. It's kind of quiet
Yeah.
because I think we're all heading into that holiday week. If you're here in the
Yeah.
United States, Thanksgiving is next week.
I don't know if I just got an email with this. Have you seen the pictures from Vanity Fair from Andrew On's upcoming remake of The Wedding Banquet?
Yeah, I don't think I even knew that he was doing that, but that's very exciting.
Yeah, I'd been hearing about it for a while. I'm very pumped. I mean, I really can't review his films because I know
Right.
him, but like I'm a big fan of his work. I thought Fire Island was great. Driveways, a little gem. If you guys haven't seen it, really good movie to watch with family over Thanksgiving, and it's streaming in a bunch of places. But anyway, yeah, I'm very interested to see what he does with Wedding Banquet, which stars Bowen Yang and Lily Gladstone.
Very interesting. Yeah, I just put my mic up a little bit. A couple of you guys are saying I sound a little bit lower.
Mm.
So hopefully I am a little bit louder
Reclaim your
now.
voice, Christy.
I know, and I'm not a quiet person, but I also don't
No.
want to blast your ears out. Hello, Looney, who was in a meeting but hanging out with us anyway. Jordan says, I saw Wicked, never seen the show before. I loved the movie, felt like a throwback to old school movie musicals. Yes, the fact that Wicked and Gladiator exist today is like the main reason that I thought we should do a live stream today because there's not a lot of news, but I know a lot of you guys either are psyched about these movies or maybe you have seen one or the other. So let us know. Um, Wallace and Gromit, is that out as well now? I know that this.
It's getting like an awards run, and then I think it's officially dropping on Netflix in January. But we're supposed to be getting. I was told I would have a link. I don't know that I have one yet for Netflix, but I do want to see it. I'm hearing good things.
I think it's in our preview queue. I think I
Okay,
have it.
okay, I'll look for
So
it.
keep an eye out for sure. Gage says, saw Wicked last night, 8.5 out of 10. Amazing performances and production design, minus 1.5 stars for not feeling like a full story. And for the CGI talking animals, yes, talking animals are a huge plot point. The Peter Dinklage talking goat being
Yes.
suppressed. Yeah, it is a half of a story. It's so funny because some folks in our comments on our review are like, of course it's only part one. Everyone knew that. Are you under a rock? Like, how do you not know? And then a lot of my friends on Facebook are like, wait a minute, it's only part one? Like, I have to buy 2 tickets for this?
Yeah, I look. I think there's an extremely online level of fandom that like devours up every bit of news they can get, and they want to know all the things. And of course, yeah, sure, you guys knew about it,
Yeah.
but I don't even watch trailers when I can avoid it. And even when I did see the Wicked trailer, it doesn't say it anywhere in there. So I think for a lot of just average moviegoers who are not digging into as much spoilers and advanced dirt and here's what we know kind of stuff online, like, yeah, they didn't know about that. I think a lot of people in theaters this week can be like, wait, whoa, part one, what?
Yeah.
So
The posters only say Wicked.
yeah.
So we'll find out. Bill Davies asks, I've been seeing reviews for Queer. Are you going to do a review of that movie? Yes,
Oh yeah.
next week. We have seen it. We would not
Yeah.
miss a Luca Guadagnino film.
Heck no.
So that's exciting. And you realize Challengers was this year as well.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be last year, but they pushed it because of the strikes. Like it was going to be
Oh.
the opening night of the Venice Film Festival in 2023, and then they scrapped that because they wanted to wait for the strikes to be over. So yeah, so this year we have 2 Luca Guadagnino movies, both written by Justin
Kuritsky's.
So that's going to be maybe an issue come awards time. We'll see, or maybe one will push the other one. They're very different films.
They really are, and Challengers, I would say, is probably the more accessible and crowd pleasing of the two.
Sure, yeah. Like if you're talking about a broad swath of awards voters, Challengers is more their thing. I like both of them in very different ways.
So speaking of, one of my best friends since junior high school is texting me right now while we are doing this live stream. And she wrote in all caps, I loved it. She went and saw Wicked at like a 9 a.m. showing in Santa Clarita. All caps, multiple exclamation points. So thank you, Tracy, for your report. So that's that. A couple things I wanted to mention. Christine says, seeing Wicked next week, hoping theater kids don't sing along. Good luck with that.
Have you seen the sign?
No.
There was a theater that put a sign up that said, for everyone's enjoyment, there will be no singing along during Wicked. We are having a sing-along screening later on, blah, blah, blah. And so now, of course, people are turning that sign into a meme with like the zone of interest, or like very non-sing-along kind of movies.
Yeah, that's really funny. I think that's a really smart move, though, for people who are younger than us, for whom this is like a big cultural phenomenon. Wicked. When I was in high school, we listened to like Les Miserables and the Evita soundtrack. So for kids now, I'm sure that's what Wicked is for them.
Sure, yeah. I mean, and then in between there somewhere was the Rent generation. There's always that kind of show that engenders that kind of enthusiasm, and so I'm sure a lot of ticket holders would rather that. Sorry, theater kids, like hold it in.
Yes. William asks, have you guys seen A Complete Unknown? Not yet. They just sent us screening information. I'm going a week from tonight on the Fox Live.
I think I'm seeing it like first week of December.
Yes. So we will definitely get to that for sure. I'm excited about that one. Yes, as Andrea points out, that Justin Kuritsky's, who wrote Challengers, is the husband of Celine Song, who made Past Lives. So it's an interesting little interweaving there.
Had Challengers come out last year, they would have been duking it out for Best Original Screenplay for movies about a love triangle.
Oh, it's so interesting. Like, what are they telling us here? Our friend Matthew Burge is here, and he asks, do you think Wicked will get acting or picture nominations? I know you were lukewarm on the film. It's funny. Our good friend Glenn Whipp has a column today on that very topic. That Wicked is very much an Oscar contender, based on early Academy screening and just the word of mouth and all that. It is in a lot of ways, although it's very high-tech CGI. It's a lot of, an old-fashioned kind of big musical that people have responded to throughout time.
Yeah, and it's going to make a shit ton of money, which the Academy, even in its current like hipper guise than they were, 20 years ago, still admires. And I'm sure Universal is going to push the hell out of it. And we've certainly seen, when actresses belt, that equals like, ooh, acting is happening here, which is not to say that they aren't giving good performances, but I'm saying they are enhanced by the fact that they both get to like sing real big, which is a thing that the Academy responds to. Also, I didn't care for the movie, and that always helps a movie's Oscar chances. So
you are the harbinger of doom.
Pretty much.
I think also because it's based on a really beloved source material. It's that musical is a phenomenon, and it has been enduring for 20 years now.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily, like Cats, that doesn't necessarily always guarantee anything.
True.
But I think the fact that people are responding well to it, it's going to make a lot of money. It behooves the industry for this one to do well, since number 2 is in the pipeline already. Yeah, I would imagine there will probably be some Oscar love showered upon it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I was going to say, I was kind of surprised Stephen Schwartz didn't jam in a new song just for Oscar consideration there, but maybe he's saving that for part 2.
True. I believe I can imagine a world in which Wicked gets nominations for picture, probably Cynthia Erivo, And then do you think Ariana Grande is supporting, or is she also a lead? That's going to be a conversation we're going to have over and over again for the next few months.
Yeah, I suspect Universal has already decided what that breakdown is going to be, and I don't know if they're pushing the. I have not. I no longer read the trades every day, so I don't see the ads. So I don't know if they're pushing them both for lead. I don't know if they're pushing Erivo in lead and Grande for supporting, and maybe they'll flip it next time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see a world where there's a lot of those are very viable. Adapted screenplay,
Costume design
for sure,
production design,
visual effects. I'm sure there's a lot of different ways to go with this one.
For sure.
No one is talking about, and I would like to know why Winnie Holzman has two separate writing credits. It's not just that it's based on the book that she wrote for the musical. It is credited as Winnie Holzman and a woman whose name I'm forgetting, who's an executive producer, which I don't think I've ever seen in a movie before. Like, I understand there are rewrites, and obviously there was a version of the script that the two women wrote, and then Holzman came in and did another polish on it. But I have never seen it divvied out like that, where one writer gets credited twice for writing, not even like written by, story by, like written by.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was looking at IMDb right now, and is it written by, story by? Yeah, screenplay by, musical book. Also, IMDb is now calling it Wicked Part 1.
Well, that's what the title card says, and that is technically what a movie is called, is what's on the title card. But yeah, like, seriously, look at the credits on the poster, or like, I mean, I'm sure IMDb is maybe different, but like, it literally is Winnie Holzman ampersand the
Dana
Fox. So I really want to know how that plays out, Writers Guild, and what that means.
Our friend Doug Arthur says, my daughter was in a drama camp production of Wicked when she was 11, so my experience is biased. Not sure I'll see the film. Was Becky Elphaba or was she Glinda? I'm curious to know. You'll have to let us know.
Or Madame Morrible.
Right, also available. So yeah, Jordan says maybe they are giving her credit for writing the musical from the stage and the film script. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, anyway, so let us know if you're going to see that, or if you're going to see Gladiator II, or will you see both? I think there seems to be a lot more excitement, at least in our comments and in feedback we're getting on social media, about Wicked versus Gladiator II. Like, there's more emotional attachment to it, at least.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly, just looking at Thursday night, they're already saying that Wicked is drawing in a lot more folks. Not that Gladiator 2 is dying on the vine by any measure, but yeah, I think there's been a lot more people are super pumped up about Wicked, just because it has such a rabid fan base. And Gladiator 2, I think, is gonna play out. I bet there's going to be a lot of opening weekend enthusiasm, but I could also see, like, maybe people are waiting to see it over the Thanksgiving break, that kind of thing. So, it's both of those movies are going to wallop everything else this weekend. I mean, like, I read somewhere that Red 1 will be lucky if they only drop 55% this weekend.
Oh, there's a big story in Variety, a big post-mortem about what happened to Red 1 and why did it tank so badly? Because it's a $250 million movie before marketing, like another $100 million on marketing, and it only made what, $32 million in its opening. And so what is the answer for that? You've got major A-list stars, it's a holiday movie. So what happened? And basically, in a nutshell, it's about how they misjudged the changing landscape, how, like, they picked it up for a lot of money a long time ago when we were all stuck at home, and streaming was the way to go, and now all of that has changed. That's part of it.
Yeah, but what I'm also reading is that because it is from a streamer, it's from Amazon MGM, that like $250 million is like an ad campaign for them, and so for them, like, the fact that it has apparently grossed 100 million worldwide already, and that covers the marketing budget, which, and again, this could all be sort of after the fact, cover your ass kind of stuff, but they're saying, well, we just needed to make the 100 million back for the marketing. The rest of it we absorb via the streaming, the subscription, the blah, 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 blah. And, I think also there is a history about Christmas movies underperforming in their original release, not getting great reviews in their original release, but if they hang on and they like become sort of annual go-tos. The Polar Express was an example that was pointed to a lot. It did okay in its first run, but it has like very much made its money back over the years in new like Blu-ray and 4K iterations and theatrical reissues and that kind of thing. There is a long game to be played with holiday movies that doesn't necessarily reflect itself in the opening weekend's box office.
Interesting. A couple folks mentioning in the comments that Ariana Grande will indeed be campaigning in supporting actress,
Smart.
which I think makes sense narratively.
Yeah.
And strategically.
Yeah. I think going back to like All About Eve, there's this thing about like, oh, you put two people from the same movie in the same category, they're going to siphon each other's support away, and that's like, who knows, because the Academy of course never releases voting tallies. I want them to start doing it 100 years later when everyone's dead. But like, there's this thought that if Anne Baxter had gone in for supporting and not lead for All About Eve, that Bette Davis would have handily won, but instead they divvied each other's vote out, and that's why Judy Holliday wound up winning that year. But who knows? It's all conjecture. Speaking of Christmas movies, Christmas Eve in Miller's Point is going to be streaming the first week of December, and then a few days later going to AMC Plus. So kind of reiterates my thought that IFC Films sort of half-assedly put it in theaters and didn't really know what to do with it. Like they were putting it in, not in art houses in LA, certainly. It was mainly in the Valley and then like at the Alamo downtown. But I think their main thing was like, well, as long as it's streaming in December, that's where the action's going to be.
And that seems like really a good place to see it. Right, because it's a cozy movie.
Yeah,
I think if you're going to watch it at home, that's fine.
Sure, it benefits from the big screen having seen it that way, because I think it is a movie that rewards attention, because it's not like telling you a lot of what's happening. You are meant to glean things about what's unfolding before you. But yeah, I'm glad at least that as the holidays get closer, it becomes a thing that people might go, okay, I'll give that a shot. But again, I do think it is more skewed to an art house audience than anything with the word Christmas in the title audience. But we'll see how it plays out.
Couple folks mentioning Hot Frosty and how it is the #1 movie on Netflix in the US and Canada. But Teddy is mad at me for suggesting that the Hot Frosty is a movie that he should see. He says, I would like an apology from Christy for Hot Frosty. I will not apologize for Hot Frosty.
No, nor should you. Yeah, it's funny because somebody was pointing out online, Sleepy Kitty Paw, who does a lot of really good blogging about observing Christmas movie releases, that The Merry Gentleman got a lot more reviews than I think people would have expected, mainly because I think the Hot Frosty phenomenon just kind of came out of nowhere, and people were maybe surprised at how many clicks they got for their reviews of that. So like, oh, I guess we better cover these a little bit sexy Netflix Christmas movies, But
I hear that one's bad, though. That one's bad, I hear.
It's not good. I didn't care for it. We're doing it on Deck the Hallmark on Monday. The strippers keep their pants on.
What? I demand breakaway pants.
Right?
That's what Velcro's for.
That's the least they could have given us. These guys they keep their pants on and they do zero crowd work. What kind of male stripping is this?
They could take some hints from Honora. How to work the room, how to get him to go to the ATM. Get some more cash.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like the full Monty, frankly, had more going on than this movie.
Danny asks, have you guys watched The Penguin? Oh, have we?
Oh, yeah.
We have also recapped every single episode over on our Patreon. That is patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. There's a link to that in the description of this video here. Yeah, we did every single episode and we were blown away by it.
And if you don't want to subscribe, you can purchase all of our recaps a la carte.
Yes, it's a cool new thing they have going on now at Patreon. Like, let's say you are not a member of our Patreon. That's okay. We still love you. You can purchase individual videos. You can purchase like individual recaps or a whole collection of them. So if you want to see what we've said about the bear the whole way through, or Ripley, or The Last of Us, you can do individual episodes. Anything, yeah. So you can buy them individually, or you can buy the whole collection, and maybe that will let you know, hey, I'm interested in these people and what they have to say. I'd like to join. But if not, you can just pick up one thing here and there. So Patreon, that's down below. Also, our good friend Matthew was asking about, am I drinking Coffee Bros in this mug? Thank you for the question, Matthew. This right now is green tea from Costco. But our friends at Coffee Bros, I wasn't going to do an ad during the live stream, but now I will. So Black Friday is coming, and you are probably getting inundated with emails for things that you don't think you need. Our friends at Coffee Bros have a good deal going where if you purchase at least $100, you get 25% off. Between 50 and 100, you get 20% off. And then from 50 and under, you get 15% off of your order. And shipping is always free when you order at least $50 worth of Coffee Brothers coffee. So it's kind of a good deal. They have gift sets, which are really cool if you want to sample a whole bunch or give that as a gift to your boss or a teacher or a coworker. I always pick up a lot of the holiday blend at this time of year.
That is my favorite thing that they do is the holiday blend surprise, and obviously you can only get it during this time of year, so it's a good time to stock up. They ship it to you in bean form, so you can hang on to them for later and grind them as you're planning to enjoy them. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. Everything I've never had a bum flavor from them. They've always been good, and if you're gonna do some Black Friday shopping online, why not get it from a company that's not owned by billionaires?
Our friends, Nick and Dan, brothers at Coffee. They're literally brothers. There are two of them. So good. So there's your ad. There you go. Danny Machetto is here. He says, "Hello, gang. Sorry I'm late. I have 17 minutes left of watching my first viewing of Hundreds of Beavers."
Ooh.
That's got to be an Alonzo suggestion you followed.
Yes, I that's still among my contenders for favorite film of 2024. You can watch it on Tubi. You can watch it on Hoopla. There's going to be doing some theatrical dates in December. Check their website to see if when it's happening near you. I still do want to see that with an audience because I haven't gotten to do that yet, and I love that movie. I think it's so inventive and very, very funny.
That'd be fun. We have a question from our friend Angel in Spain about, do you plan to see Dune Prophecy? Yes, we are recapping that right now on our Patreon as well.
As we speak. Yeah, we already talked about episode 1 and we'll be doing the whole thing.
Yeah. David asks, did you guys see the trailer for the live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon? I did not.
I have not.
But Dean DeBlois is coming back, Alonzo, your pal.
Yes. He co-directed the first one with Chris Sanders. He directed 2 and 3, and he is now making his live action feature debut with this live action feature version. And I still don't watch trailers if I can avoid them, so I haven't seen them. But I'm very excited about this movie. Can't review it, but am looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I look forward to that as well, and I think is a really great example of what that DreamWorks animation style evolved into, right? We were talking earlier, we reviewed Spellbound before we came and saw you guys, and that'll be out there later on today, and how that looks like early DreamWorks, that looks like Shrek and Shark Tale, because it's the same director, but what it evolved into once we got to the Kung Fu Pandas of the world and the How to Train Your Dragons, it got so like tactile and varied and beautiful.
And you're seeing, I think, so Dave pointed out as I was watching this morning, some of the dragon faces from How to Train Your Dragon come into play with some of the creatures in Spellbound as well. So yet another example of that movie really feeling like it's borrowing from a lot of sources.
Yes. So it's a big, big weekend at the movies. I think I'll probably do a poll on the community tab as far as what are you going to see, Wicked or Gladiator. So I'll do that after we talk here.
Make both an option.
Or both, or neither, right?
Or neither, yeah.
You can embrace the and or not. So the story about Sebastian Stan, I want to talk about because I think it's so interesting.
Yeah.
So Sebastian Stan is in The Apprentice. He plays young Trump in this movie. And Variety always does this series around award season called Actors on Actors, where they pair people up who have, I don't know, some kind of maybe connective tissue in the roles they play, or maybe they're old friends, or maybe they're super different or whatever. And it's really informative because they will often ask each other questions that maybe wouldn't occur to me as a journalist to ask. They know things deeply steeped within their craft. And I guess he said they couldn't find anybody to pair up with him because nobody wanted to talk about Trump. And that was disappointing to him because, it's a conversation that we should have. And Paul Walter Hauser, who was, his co-star in I, Tonya, the Jeff Goldblum's sidekick in I, Tonya, said, I'll do it. I've raised his hand. I'll do it. But it sounds like it might be too late for that. And I think that's a bummer because it is a conversation worth having. And it's not something that we can ignore. It's going to happen. And also just from if you don't want to get into the political element of it, you can still talk about the craft and like recreating this person who is famous. Like, how do you find a new way into that? Anyway.
Yeah, they could talk about the part of Trump's life that is covered in the movie The Apprentice, and I think what it is it's not so much that actors are cowardly; it's that publicists are being cowardly on their behalf.
I think so too.
And this is a phenomenon known as obeying in advance. Like he's not even back in office yet, but people are already afraid about stepping on toes. They don't want to make waves. They don't want to put themselves. They don't want to put a target on their back and stuff. And I don't. I'm not for that in any realm of the public sphere of people who are already like, the whole Morning Joe thing, where they're like going to
Talk about that.
Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring. It's like, can we not supplicate ourselves? This is still a democracy. Last time I checked, it might not be in 4 years, but we're there now. So like, let's at least have these conversations, please.
I agree. Yeah, when I saw that, because Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough had been so critical of him for so
Yeah.
long, and then turned around and they were like, "Oh, I need to, go to Mar-a-Lago and learn how to get along." And it's like, no, you just want to be invited to the freaking White House for state dinners.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it comes from above them, because I mean, they are employees of a large corporation who has to rely upon the federal government for licenses and things.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like this idea that we're already walking on eggshells about, not offending the czar,
Yeah.
so
We can't be fearful. We have to have the conversation. We have to, like, for the First Amendment, have nothing else, so.
exactly.
I hope that Sebastian Stan does get an opportunity, if not within this variety series, like some place that is that high profile, to delve into what it took to subsume himself to this role, because there's hair, there's makeup, there's craft, there's a voice.
Absolutely, it's a great performance. Him and Jeremy Strong, I think, in as Roy Cohn in that film, both really powerhouse performances.
I agree. We got to talk about Jussie Smollett's conviction being overturned. Did you see this?
Yes. Now, I'm confused about. It's one of the. I started reading the article and it got so into the legal weeds.
Yeah.
It's like, did they didn't say he didn't do it, but they said that the retrial was not permitted, and so they didn't honor the verdict of the second. Did you get it? Because I'm lost.
There was a special prosecutor who was appointed later on in the process that the state Supreme Court found invalidated what had already happened in his trial.
Gotcha.
So like they did it too late. And that seemed like, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on TV, but it was like interference in a way with the legal process. And so it shouldn't have gotten that far.
Gotcha.
And it's a technicality.
Okay. So what is that? What does he get out of this? Not going to prison? Like,
So
that was on the table, right?
He was convicted of making up this whole racist attack,
lying to the police and orchestrating the attack.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess so that conviction now has been overturned. So those charges have been dropped, and so now I guess he can go free.
Okay. I think that I don't know what kind of career he has at this point, with the fact that this thing actually happened and he did do it. Riding on him, but people bounce back from things sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, it's complicated. So, but anyway, I wanted to at least address that happened. We have a question for you, Alonso, from Invisible Adversary. Are you going to Sundance, the Berlinale, or Rotterdam?
At the moment, no. My thing with film festivals is pretty much like, am I being sent? And I am not currently being sent, so probably not.
Yeah, nor am I. I'm staying here in LA. We do have some good news, really good news, and that is our dear friend Amy Nicholson is now going to be the film critic for the LA Times.
Yes, indeed. She's terrific, and she has weathered her way through a lot of news organizations that have kind of collapsed around her, be it the LA Weekly or MTV News. So I hope that the current recent travails of the LA Times don't get in the way of her, because she's a brilliant film writer.
She really is. And I get the pleasure of being on Film Week with her sometimes. And then she and I did like a live event at the Frida with the first Fast and Furious movie in front of an audience. And the thing about Amy is that she's like stealthily brilliant, because she's got such a really low key, demeanor. Like her delivery is like she'll just sneak up on you, and then all of a sudden she'll say this brilliant thing, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. But like she's so understated, but she'll always find an avenue into a movie that I had never thought of,
Yeah.
and a totally inspired perspective. She's a tremendous writer. She can do it all, whether it's podcasts or television or radio or whatever. So I think she's a great voice at this time. And I hope that, yeah, there's a lot going on at the LA Times and newspapers all over the place. And I hope that she is okay.
Yeah. And she won a blue ribbon at the LA County Fair this year for cookie decoration, which my hat is off.
She does like to bake. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of congratulations for Amy in the comments here. Yeah, we're happy for her as well. She begins on Monday and she follows in the footsteps of our great friend Justin Chang, who
Yep.
won the Pulitzer while he was there and is now the critic for the New Yorker.
Yep.
So, right, and Gage points out she's a University of Oklahoma grad.
She is indeed.
Boomer. So there's that. And then Alonzo, tell us about your event at Vidiots.
Yeah. So, hey, if you're in Los Angeles on Saturday, December 7th at 4:15 p.m., I will be screening Alfred Hitchcock's Rope at Vidiots, which is a really fun movie to watch on the big screen. It was sort of pioneered the whole like we're pretending it's one long take, which at the time technology would not allow for one long take, so they kind of fake it, but it is comprised of very long takes and it's super queer. And I will be signing Hollywood Pride in the lobby afterwards, which makes a dynamite holiday gift. So, if you were looking for some ideas for your Christmas stuff, in addition to, of course, the delicious Coffee Brothers offerings, if you want to come by and get a signed copy of Hollywood Pride for the film lover in your life, come do that and see a great movie.
I've never seen Rope.
Oh man, you're in for a treat.
I'm coming. I'll be there too.
As Roger would say, I envy you getting to see it for the first time. But yeah, come see us at Vidiots on December 7th. Tickets are on sale now at vidiots.com, org.
I think they're .org. Let me look real fast. I have it in the, what is that? Vidiotsfoundation.org.
Vidiotsfoundation.org. Yes.
There's a link in the description.
Yes. Excellent. So please
There's a link down below.
Come see us and say hey if you are around. That'd be great.
Yeah, we would love that. And I am a sucker for a long tracking shot. So I am psyched to see these long pieces of single take all in one place.
Yeah, it was Hitchcock's first film in color and his first collaboration with Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, all good to know.
Yeah.
Couple questions I want to answer here. Invisible Adversary says, Christy, do you still talk to Ignatiy Vishnevetsky? It has been a while. It's been a long time. He's not really all that active on social media. I think he is back with the AV Club again, but I don't know that he was writing for a little while there. So I miss him. I haven't seen him in person in about 12 years.
Wow.
So it has been a while, but I always wish him the best. He's great. The Hookman777 says, hi guys, I am a Trump voter, Christian, and longtime fan. We all love you and want us to be united despite our differences. Have a great Thanksgiving and excited for holiday at the movies. Thank you for those kind thoughts. I appreciate all of that. I appreciate the kindness of that sentiment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Leo says, happy Wicked Weekend, everyone. Teddy says, haven't seen Rope either. Maybe you can catch
it's a
up with
treat.
it.
It is a lot of fun.
Yes. So thanks you guys for being here. We are not going to be here next Friday because it's Thanksgiving in the United States. And so we're taking off for a couple of days. But back here the following Friday, December 6th. We always love seeing you.
Yeah.
Let us know how Wicked and Gladiator turn out for you.
Yes. Have a terrific weekend, everybody. And we'll be back on Tuesday with something. I don't know. I don't have the thing in front of me.
Tuesday is big because it's all a Thanksgiving movie. So it's Moana 2.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Right.
Moana 2, Maria, and Queer we're doing on Tuesday.
Oh, wow. Okay. So very big Tuesday to get you through your holiday weekend. So make sure you're back for that. And yeah, we will be live 2 Fridays from now. So in the meantime, everybody, be good for goodness sake.
Yes. And we're going to see Moana 2 on Monday nights. We're going to have a quick little out of the theater reaction for you on Moana 2. If you're excited about that,
yeah,
thing that
not?
We're doing. So. All right. Good to see you all.
Thanks,
y'all.
Appreciate it.
Whatever holiday it is for you. Thanks. And we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Bye. Okay. End stream. There's a question I didn't get to. Someone asked, have you seen the last show?